So your voice is not audible.
Okay, good morning everyone. So
Good morning, sir.
today we will start with Carl Pearson's concept of correlation. So we have ended with moments, skewness, kurtosis. The next part. Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So the word itself suggests that you are going to relate two things, two variables. So x and y are two variables, and we have discussed this. Say if this is marks in mathematics and y is marks in AMC, or Z I will say EGR. So I want to check if some student has good marks in maths, will he be having good in EGR and AMC? If he has some good marks in AMC, will it mean that he has good marks in maths and EGR? Okay, so this kind of relations we are going to derive using this Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Uh, in the introduction, I also told you that they may be related positively. The example we have seen was the demand and price. Demand, y is the price. X is supply, y is price. Okay, so in the first one, if the demand rises, price will also rise. In the second one, if the supply rises, the price will decrease. Okay, so if we draw the graph of this, the graph will be something like this. And in the second one, the graph will be something like this. So this is called positive correlation, positively related. And the other one, negative correlation. Okay, so in some examples it is easy to relate. I mean, you can orally tell that yes, those are positively related or those are negatively related. But if there is some uh, different example or different relations, like for an example, marks in 10th standard and marks in engineering. Okay, so for many of the cases that may not be related. Okay, and in this kind of cases, what we can actually do is we can use this mathematical techniques by which we can find out the relation between the two variables. So before we go for examples, let's write down the definition. Correlation, coefficient between two variables x and y, denoted by denoted by r of x comma y is defined as r of xy is equal to covariance of xy upon sigma x sigma y. Where covariance of x comma y, this is called covariance, let me just write down full form, covariance. So v of xy is the covariance of x comma y, and it is defined as 1 upon n summation x minus x bar y minus y bar. And sigma x is equal to under root 1 upon n
bar square Okay, this is the theoretical
definition. I mean, we won't
just while we are solving examples, but
before we
try to understand what is this. I mean, 1 upon n sigma
is the standard deviation, and in standard deviation we had summation f into x minus x bar square. So can you tell me what is the difference here now? So the bivariate data, I mean, what we are going to see here is we will have a value of x, we'll have a value of y.
x2, y2, x3 dot 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 till xn yn.
So if xi is
And yi is the price. So look, there is no frequency.
in this case, the data that we will be provided in this case is of the form x, the values of x, y, the values of y. That's it. So these two are variables. There is no frequency in this case. We know how to find out the mean of this values of x. What was the formula? Summation x divided by n. Okay. So in this case, our frequency will always be 1. Okay. So if you put f is equal to 1, you will get this formula. Okay. So in correlation, we don't have frequency. Everywhere we will have the form, the values of x and values of y. Find separately the mean of x, mean of y, standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y. Now, as we have understood this, now let's just simplify the formula that we have.
Sir, your voice is cracking in between.
Just a minute.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So r of xy, covariance of x comma y upon sigma x sigma y. So covariance, we have written the formula 1 upon n summation x minus x bar y minus y bar, and in the denominator we have the sigma x. Sigma x, we have two formulas. Previously we have seen two formulas for sigma x. One is under root summation f x minus x bar square upon summation f, and the other one was under root summation f into x square upon summation f minus x bar square. So these are the two formulas that we have seen earlier. What I said, if you put f is equal to 1, you will get this sigma x formula in this case. Okay, so if I put f is equal to 1 here, what I will have? Under root summation x square divided by n minus x bar square. Under root summation y square by n minus y bar square. So if you simplify this, let's open the bracket in the numerator. So what we will have? Summation xy minus x into y bar minus x bar into y plus x bar y bar upon under root summation x square by n minus x bar square under root summation y square by n minus y bar square. So taking the summation inside, so the first term that we get is summation xy by n minus y bar will be constant, so it will come outside the summation. So summation x by n minus x bar summation y by n plus x bar y bar summation 1 by n upon under root summation x square by n minus x bar square. Other one summation y square by n minus y bar square. So observe the terms in the numerator. If you look at this term, summation x by n, this is x bar. Summation y by n, this is y bar. And what is this? Summation 1. This will be actually equal to n because for every entry you are adding 1. So this 2 will get cancelled out. So finally, this will be minus 2 x bar y bar plus x bar y bar. So what we get here is this is equal to summation xy by n minus x bar y bar upon under root summation x square by n minus x bar square summation y square by n minus y bar square. Again you can cross multiply n and we can simplify this. So the final formula that we get is summation xy minus n times x bar y bar upon under root summation x square minus n times x bar summation y square minus n times y bar. So this seems actually easier to find out the correlation. So the correlation between the so this is the formula that you have to include in your list that I told you to make. Correlation R of xy is equal to summation xy minus n times x bar y bar upon under root summation x square minus n times x bar under root summation y square minus n times y bar. Please include this in your list. A simple note here. First one, correlation is independent of change of origin and scale. The second remark, minus 1 is less than or equal to r of x comma y is less than or equal to 1. A very important remark which says that correlation will always be between minus 1 to plus 1. It will never exceed 1 and minus 1. Okay, so let's solve some examples on this. You don't have, I mean, no one is going to ask you the proof of this. You just have to remember this or understand this how it comes, or you just simply memorize it. That's it. And this note will be very important. In some cases you can get r greater than 1, so you can verify that you are doing something wrong. Okay, and even in MCQs I can put this. Fine. Example, following are the values of import of raw materials and export of finished product. Full stop. Calculate coefficient of correlation. So export, the values are 10, 14, 20, 22, 16. And import 12, 15, 21, 26, 21. So let's write down the formula first of all. The formula for this is, for the coefficient of correlation, summation xy minus n times x bar y bar upon under root summation x square minus n times x bar square under root summation y square minus n times y bar square. So how many summations do I need? Summation x into y, summation x square, summation y square. So we'll make those columns. First of all, x, which is 10, 14, 20, 22, 16. Y is 12, 15, 21, 26, 21. So I will have the column for xy, x square, y square. Then I will have summations of them. And before that, we also need x bar, y bar. How do we find x bar, y bar in this case? Add all the entries divided by the total number of entries. So that is 30, 40, 56, 72. Please check the calculations. 82.
Sir, 82.
Sir, 82.
And the other one?
Sir, 95.
95.
5. Then xy 120, 210, 420, 572, 336.
One 1658.
So the summations are
1436. 1927 y square.
okay. Okay, so x bar is equal to summation x divided by n, which is equal to 82 divided by total number of entries are 5. So 82 by 5, which is 16.4. Y bar is equal to summation y divided by n, which is 95 divided by 5, which is 19. So R of xy is equal to summation xy minus 5 times x bar y bar upon under root summation x square minus 5 times x bar square under root summation y square minus 5 times y bar square. So this is 1658 minus 5 into 16.4 into 19 upon under root 1436 minus 5 into 16.4 square to under root 1927 minus 5 into 19 square. Let's do the calculations. What's the answer?
Sir, it's 0.948.
0.94.
Yes, sir. 0.948.
0.948.
So this is the coefficient of correlation. So what do we observe? There is positive relation between the two variables x and y. So if you import more, you will export more. Okay, the finished product that you get, that will be more. So in some cases, this can become negative.
Sir, this
Yes.
method is used for finding the relation between two quantities. In between, there is no such equation or relation between them, right? Means even if we consider any physical phenomena, right, in physics or something. And if we don't know the relation between them, but we have the values, how it
Yes,
changes.
yes,
So
surely.
by yeah.
Yes. Compute coefficient of correlation between supply and price. Supply and price. 152, 169, 160, 182. One 98, 167, 180, and 162. Just do it. Tell me final answer R of xy. What are the columns? X, Y, xy, x square, y square. Yes, what is the answer?
Sir, X bar 165.75 and Y bar 176.75.
165.75.
Yes,
And Y bar?
176.75.
R of XY. Chirag?
Yes, sir, I got the summation.
Sir, it is coming minus 0.938.
Yes, it is correct. Fine. So that's all about correlation. We need to talk about regression also. So before that, I just want to give you a small hint. So if you have this FX991 plus calculator or some other mode, in that you have statistics mode over there. Okay, so you can press mode button, which is beside on, and there you will see stat. So when you press 3, there are different things over there. One is variance, there is A plus BX, which will give you the regression. So there are different modes, so you can explore that too. This kind of questions can be solved easily. Okay, working of course you will have to show, but if it is an objective exam or online exam, then this will be very much helpful for you. So go through that. There are very important things. I mean, regression A plus BX, what is given, that, and first one variance. If you get variance, you can quickly take the under root, and that will be the standard deviation. So this will be very much helpful for you. So I will leave it as an exercise that you do it, you explore your calculator, and you will be able to solve the questions very much easily. Fine. Next point that we need to see is the regression. So regression lines. In the previous example, what we have seen is, okay, you have some data. Okay, if you plot this data, simply plot this, say 150 is 1 unit. Okay, so 152x and this will be 190, so that will be somewhere here. 169, 167. So 169, 167. So the data, if you plot, it will be something like this. Okay, so I can see that as the value of x is decreasing. So there is a negative slope. So both are, as the value of, is it minus? Yes, so there is a negative slope. Slope of the line is negative. So I can adjust this. I'm so sorry, I'm doing it wrong. Okay, so I can plot this data. Say for an example, I have this kind of, I'll do it on the next page. So I'll plot the data. So of course it is not in a straight line. So I have the first point x1, y1 and the second point x2, y2. The third point x3, y3. The fourth point x4, y4. And the fifth point x5, y5. So by looking at these points, what I can actually do is I can guess कि yes, if the value of x is increasing, the value of y is also increasing accordingly. Okay, so I can approximate this with a straight line. Say if I am able to, by using some technique, what I have done is I have approximated this data with a straight line. Okay, considering this distance minimum, some mathematical tools are used and I have approximated this data with a straight line. Now I want to guess what will happen if my x is say 100. What will be the value of y? So I can guess that. So the reason behind making this equation of this line is that for different values of x I can guess. Okay, so like suppose if this is the time and this is the population. So I have this data in 2010 it was this, in 1996 it was this, and so on. I have plotted this graph. Okay, and I want to guess what will be the population if x is equal to, or the time is equal to, or year is 2050. What will be the population? So what I can do is, once I get an equation, I'll put this 2050 in that equation and I will get the population. Actually that 2050 is not correct. So if this is first year, this is second year, this is third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth and seventh. So if this is these are the years. In the first year my population was this. In second year the population of a city became this. The third one is something, and depending on this available data I have made an equation. Once I make an equation, I want to see what will be the population when 25 years will be completed. Okay, at the end of 25 years what will be the population? So what I can do is, in that equation I will put this 25 and I will get the required population. So what we do is, of course there is a relation, so you use the correlation to make an equation of a line. Once we get an equation of line, I can estimate what will be the value of y when x is given, or what will be the value of x when y is given to you. So for this purpose, what we do is we make a regression lines. Okay, so as we have studied two cases, when x is given and when y is given. So in mathematical terms, so if x is given to you, then I will need y as the function of x, so that I can put the value of x and I can get y. If y is given, I need x as a function of y, so that I can put the value of y and get the value of x. So this type of equation is called regression line of y on x, and this is called regression line of x on y. So in the next lecture we will see how to find these regression lines, both the regression lines, and we'll solve the example and we'll end the statistics in the next lecture. If you have any difficulties, you can ask.
So is this video
Sir,
will be
here
available on
we
YouTube?
Yes, it will be available.
Sir, here we are just extrapolating whatever data we have, right? Means
Yes.
we are predicting it. For,
Yes. So it is used for prediction. Like there was this data which said that by in June, July, they said that India will cross 1 crore, this 1 crore mark by December. Okay, for the COVID patients. Sorry, 1 lakh mark by September. They estimated it by September India will cross 10 lakh mark, sorry, 10 lakh patients of COVID, and that was true. Yes. So this is how it is done. I mean, from the required data, they make an equation, and from that equation, they can estimate what number of patients you will get, or whatever is required. So this is how it is done. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
thank you, sir.